Damn Kitchen. I am Mike'l Severe. It is the show to listen to see and hear people talking while eating. That's what we do. I am joined by my partner in crime. On the other side of our guest, Nick Bartholomew, of course, from Over Easy and Dandelion Pop-Up. How you doing?
Good. Been a good week. Weather's been great.
It's changing.
Through all the way through.
Yes.
It's changing very soon. We are at Hail Varsity Club in La Vista. Only been open about 6 months. They have a new chef who we'll be talking to in a little while. But our guest, my former coworker, and a person I believe I inspired
100%.
for a very long time
Still
as a
remember
reporter.
the lessons.
Brandi Peterson joining us here, of course, works at Westside now and is a mom of many athletes.
I don't know about that, but they are just won the 6th grade state championship. We actually had their team party here at Hail Varsity.
Hold on up. 6th grade state champions.
Yeah, it's like the Metro Youth Football League, I think.
Is it tackle
fancy
or
terms.
is it?
They are tackling.
Oh,
And I tell you what,
wow.
some of these little guys, like, they can hurt people.
They can,
Like,
yeah.
bodies fly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very impressive. And the summer workouts, they're in the 100-degree heat, running hills, and these boys put in the work. They worked very, very hard, and it made us very proud.
Former KTV7 anchor. Of course, we had Rob McCartney on episode three or 4, somewhere in there.
Come on.
And we had Rob on, of course, your former partner on the desk. Do you miss it?
I miss the people. You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
I miss Rob. I miss you. I think news is one of those worlds, and maybe it's very much like the restaurant industry or the radio industry.
Exactly.
Like, your colleagues, they just get it. It's hard to explain. And so a lot of those friendships, you know, we worked weird hours, we worked holidays, we covered really devastating things and happy things, and you form these connections that it's really difficult to form with people in regular jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I talked to a lot of them, just texted Rob today, and I miss them. I miss Fry and Andy and our photographers, but the hours are definitely more accustomed to being a mom and a wife and being there for the life stuff.
Good.
So.
When's the last time you swung by and got a Vosat?
Vosat.
I need you to swing by and give me a Vosat.
I edit more now at Westside
than
I ever did at KETV, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Like, I didn't help my photographers out and learn something new and try it, because it's great. It's fun creating art.
I was just talking to Cam about this before. You're sitting there in front of a monitor, right? And when you're done, you're exhausted.
So exhausted.
I don't know why editing is so tiring, because you're not running around. You're using your brain, sure, a little bit in your eyes, but you're exhausted when you're done putting together a piece.
I think it's the emotional energy as well. Like yesterday, I edited this piece that had these 2 little guys, 2 kindergartners, that just exuded happiness and joy. And you just feel your own emotions going up, and then you get done, and you're like, okay.
That was exhausting.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to reference him. I asked you this, Nick, because you mentioned it. There are several jobs out there that have this immediacy and tension and just really to the point where when you're done, you're physically exhausted. I think working in a kitchen certainly has that. If you've watched the show The Bear, you see that. But breaking news, when it is immediate like that, you can't replace it with anything. How do you replace being in the kitchen? How do you replace being a waiter on a Friday night when you're getting slammed? How do you replace that intensity?
You don't. I mean, I coach Little League.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I yell at the kids. You know what I mean? We get into the bottom of the 7th, you know, but I mean, you definitely, you know, you find yourself thriving on it or not, I guess, first. And if you do thrive on it, it's something you look forward to, weirdly.
Yeah, you do.
You know? I don't know how to say that any other way.
Yeah. Do you miss that? Do you miss the breaking news part? Do you miss the intensity of, obviously you still have a restaurant, but being like on the line and being like, I got to get this done, or if it doesn't get it done, somebody out there is going to yell at me.
Yeah, I mean, as a server, you know, if you drop something or you don't ring something in or you make those mistakes on one of those days, it's hell to pay. You know what I mean? It can change your night really fast.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that it has anything to compare with 9/11, breaking news or
sure.
something like that, and being part of that, because that's a world changer quick. Yeah. So.
Well, I remember Brandi's first real breaking news situation. I believe I have this correct. But it was the coffee can building.
Butternut.
Yes, burning down, and you going over there in the middle of the night and reporting from that.
Do you remember why you weren't there? Because I got sent? I think we were in a coach's change. We were like on the cusp of, is he going to get fired? Who's going to get hired?
Right.
So Mike'l had to cover. You did the big red breakfast every Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it was like, no, Mike'l can't miss that. He has to be there.
Right.
And so I was the lucky 23-year-old that had been downtown for a friend's birthday that night, and God's whatever, I was not drinking because I had a terrible headache. Well, then it was like the whole place cleared out because there was this massive fire. Ended up staying there all night, and
that building was going to be beautiful, by the way.
It was.
I remember touring the building
fell down.
And going, this is going to be, because remember the other side was already done. And Brado lived over there.
Yeah.
On the other side, our former meteorologist, she lived on the other side, so we went and toured it just to check it out. And I'm like, this is going to be gorgeous. And somebody left on a blowtorch or something, right? Didn't
they? It was like one of the workers did not fully turn off his equipment or something.
Whoa. Yeah. Was it a Friday night?
It was a Thursday night.
Yeah, because I had big red breakfast the next morning. Back when we used to do it at the Holiday Inn. And so I had to head over to
Lincoln, weren't you?
No, it was here.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was here. They would bring the coaches in the night before, and they would actually spend the night in the hotel and get up in the morning and do it.
Breakfast.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
By the way, my college job, Charlie's on the Lake.
No.
I was a server, and I remember you just said, and I was like, ooh, flashback.
Yeah.
So the owner was there working the line. You know, like true professionals, they have to still get in. Yeah, they have to still get in there and feel it.
Yeah.
So he was working the line, and I had this humongous tray of, hundreds of dollars worth of gourmet food. And I dropped it. And he just stood there and looked at me. I went to the bathroom and sobbed. I thought I was going to get yelled at and fired, and he was very nice about it.
Okay, it's only because you cried, number one. Number two, Mike'l, did you hear where she worked?
Yes.
Literally the last episode that we filmed.
Yeah, we talked about Charlie.
This got brought up because I, too, worked at Charlie's on the Lake, and the chef from Timbers, manager at Pasta Amore is an old friend and manager, Robin.
Such a small world.
It is a small city.
So we discussed the Charlie's on the Lake, and Eve Menard only did not let her have it because she cried. Because the reason she cried is because she had seen.
Because he was tough. He was tough and professional and small world. One of my colleagues there, who is another server, is now the GM at Tavern 180. Christina.
Wow.
Charlie's on the Lake.
Yeah, it's
the greatest all-star cast of restaurant employees ever assembled.
It is absolutely incestuous. We're talking about
Brian,
everybody's got a relationship with everybody. That's where the phrase incestuous. It doesn't mean that it's a phrase. It's used, trust me. But anyway, it is, because everybody's got a relationship with everybody. You could go with, instead of using that, you could go with these 7 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon.
100%.
However you want to do it. It's kind of the same thing. It's constantly, you work with somebody, everybody's related in a way.
Yeah. I mean, that restaurant did more numbers in those heydays than any restaurant could do.
Yeah.
And with the patio and the things that were going on. Plus, the food was outstanding.
So I used to, because you got a little % discount when you were working, I would have their boneless wings and bread.
Nice.
And looking back now, thinking of that, I put on 5 pounds. But back then,
when you're,
they came with, the wings came with this delicious, incredible. Oh,
did you say wings?
Ate it.
You just ate the bread?
Because the end was all crispy and the insides were all warm, and that would have been early 2000s, and it was
walking down that bakery to get
the cheesecake.
Walk-in.
Cheesecake Land and the walk-in with the bread.
That's where it all was.
Still thinking about
We're going to get back into that and the urgency of being on a line.
They're just here.
When you show up. Chef Nick joining us here at Hail Varsity Club. Chef Nick's how long you been on duty here?
Not long. It's a little over 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks now. So still new, still getting my feet wet, getting settled, getting the lay of the land, but.
And you came over from Block 16?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yep. Straight from, and kind of halfway with the Dandelion pop-up too, coming from there too this summer. I was kind of halfway between Block 16 and Nick allowed me to do my own thing there. So yeah, this is a great opportunity for me, big opportunity for me to kind of bring what I can to this kitchen and to the table here. So
more of the incestuous talk.
A lot of incestuous, yes, everybody.
So Adrian Whitsett, who we both worked with, loves Block 16
Another Papio
so
guy.
much that even though he is an anchor now in Cincinnati,
yes.
When he comes home, the first thing he does, I'm not kidding you, is go to Block 16 every single time.
Why wouldn't
He's like you, he lived down there.
He did.
Oh, right.
So you just walk over there all the time.
Yeah, and I mean,
great.
it was my favorite restaurant too before I worked there. Right. When I've been working in restaurants my whole life, and when I started taking cooking seriously, I wanted to work at a place that I loved and that I believed in, and I would go there 3-4 times a week. And then I was like, I messaged them and said, I will wait for an opening to work at your guys' restaurant.
Great.
And it took about 3 or 4 months for me to get in there, but it was the best thing for me. It's where I cut my teeth as a chef, and it's still one of my favorite spots in town, even though I worked there and seen the ins and outs.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell us about these wings.
Yeah.
So this is our wings that we're doing here. They're still a work in progress. Like I said, I'm new, but we're figuring out the best way to do them. But we bred the wings here now.
Nice.
This is a sauce that's in development, spicy garlic. It's not something we've had on the menu before, but it's one of my favorite wing sauces, and I feel like if you serve wings, you should have a spicy garlic sauce. So this is the spicy garlic sauce we're still working on. We brine the wings.
I was going to ask you if you brine the wings.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm being at a place like this and the kind of food I like to eat, man, the wings got to be 5-star.
Do they go into buttermilk after that? What do you use after?
No.
What do you use for your, like a batter?
They just go straight from the brine into a chicken flour, a seasoned chicken flour.
Yeah.
That's
no
got
eggs or buttermilk.
You gotta go
hold
first.
it?
No,
Okay.
the moisture, from the brine and just the wings themselves helps that. And the chicken flour is it's made to just stick right to the skin of the wings, and these bigger wings that we get here, I think they're great with the breading. Sometimes they can be not as crispy as you want with the big wings. So the breading I think is something that not a lot of places do. Breaded wings.
I know.
And I wanted to set us apart. I want people to remember us for the wings. I don't want Tracks to be the only place in town that people know about wings for.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like Omaha brand wings are the fried wings, usually double battered fried.
or the char grilled.
Char-grilled
which
ones.
we'll get to.
Not like this, but this, I personally grew up with the battered wings, so I'm a fan of the battered wings.
Yep.
Shout out to Baker's who makes a great battered wing.
Oh, yeah.
But this is how I like it personally.
Yeah.
And you got to
Those
brine
are
them
good.
first.
Yeah, and I do want to in the future have options. I do want to Nebraskans love the char grilled wings. The char buffed wings. So down the road we're going to get a char buffer in here, and we're going to char buff some wings too in the future. And I think that'll just take us to the next level.
What's the sauce?
Spicy garlic.
Awesome.
Did you bring the big Kahuna burger?
I did.
Yeah, that's what I want to know about. Okay.
I did. That's next up.
Talk to me about that.
We're gonna call it I'm giving what I've done to this place. We're gonna call it the Hail Varsity Burger, like we've been calling it here.
Baby.
I'll keep the sauce recipe a secret. I won't let that out.
Yeah.
That's gonna stay in my backpack.
Good.
We had the conversation. You lived in Hawaii, or you were in Hawaii.
I did.
His
yeah.
Hawaiian food's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
and-
what he did this summer. I mean, his Hawaiian food. I mean, the only place to get it, he started making people in downtown crave it.
Yeah, and I got to thank Nick a lot for giving me the opportunity to kind of, do my own thing. I lived there for a year, and I love the food there and the kind of burgers that they serve down in Hawaii. The sauce that I do on my burgers pays homage to the kind of sauce that you find on pretty much any burger anywhere you go to down there. So, I just put my own spin on things, and burgers have always been my death row meal, honestly.
Right.
So, honestly, if I
That's a
have
great
my
way to
last
view
meal,
it.
it'd be a burger, fries, Coke, chocolate cake, and milk for dessert. So,
Damn, you thought this through. I like it.
Don't you have yours?
No, it's not ready. It's in development. I will
Bimbop?
admit. Okay, like
Bimbop is my entree.
oh,
My favorite thing to eat in the world is bimbop.
keep going.
Then I want boneless wings.
what's flavor?
Well, there's a mixture. So you go. I don't want to sell another place, but they make a spicy garlic and teriyaki together. There's a location downtown. There's a couple out west. That's one of my favorite things.
Okay.
Carrot cake is my only dessert. It's the only one I really like.
Yeah.
And a Coke Zero.
I love it.
Coke Zero?
And a Coke Zero.
You don't just go the full Coke.
I'm a
It's
Coke
the
Zero
last
guy.
day.
I'm a
Coke
Coke
Zero's not bad.
I'm a Coke Zero guy. I like the
Discipline.
flat kind of Coke. From growing up and all those years going to ball games, you always had the flat Coke. It was never mixed right.
Yes.
And so I fell in love with it, and so I like the Coke Zero.
You didn't get ice either, did you? Were you that guy who was like, I don't want ice
I got a little bit of ice. I wanted as much drink
Not
as
a
I
whole
possibly
bunch.
could. You know, it cost $6 for those drinks in the Superdome back in the day.
What?
Way
No,
back then, it
you
was
can get the large at
$26
McDonald's
It
for a
was a
buck.
32-ounce soda that you got there. Yeah.
I think
it was delicious.
Baseball game last summer. I
Where?
feel like Twins,
Okay.
I think.
All right.
It was like $26 for the chicken tender helmet for my kid.
Oh
so
my
I have two boys.
goodness.
Yeah.
Was it
We get
good?
to keep the helmet.
Was it
I
good?
think
Keep
my
the
9-year-old
helmet.
had like 2 of them.
Was it good?
I didn't have any. I'm going to take these home. My 11-year-old, his favorite thing in the world right now is wings.
Really?
Chef, these are
really good. The
phenomenal.
flavor's really
And-
good.
and
Phenomenal.
perfect spice to where
Yeah,
your
it's not
lips are a
too
little
much.
tingly.
Yeah.
But you're not up. Nobody's coughing. Nobody's diving into their drink.
I appreciate that.
I will tell you that
I thought that exact same thing.
I went to a Mets game, and thank you, Gary Green, owner of the Storm Tasters, put us
Name
up in a
drop.
luxury booth, and they brought us.
We'll use that again.
They brought us all this food and it was free.
What?
We were in the luxury box. They brought shakies or whatever.
Okay.
They brought us that. They brought sundaes. They brought these stuffed French fry things. It was incredible.
Whoa.
And at the end, we're like, well, how much does this all cost? I'm like, no, it's free.
Have a great afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Gary Green. Owner
Did you
of the
tip
Storm
anybody
Chasers.
or just like walk out of there like a baller?
We tipped.
Okay, got it,
we
baby.
We definitely tipped.
See, I'm just making sure.
Burger up next.
Yeah, they should be. I can go. Should I go stack
Right.
it? I can
Yeah,
go-
and we'll get a little bit more into
It
your
is
history
really
when you
good.
come
I
back
like
as
it.
well.
Let me
It's
go grab the
big
burger.
and kind of rustic.
I can't handle the size of these things. There you
Right.
go, Cam.
It's
Another
really
soundbite.
great,
Wow,
Chef.
that is a drop and a half right there.
I
Great
can't
size.
handle the size of this.
Of these things, too. It's not just one.
I know. I rephrased
Yeah.
so he had
Yeah.
more
That's
material.
a T-shirt right there.
I feel
That's-
like right now, I thought I read somewhere in all of my intellectual readings that there was like a shortage of wings.
I
or it
mean,
was
there's
hard
been a
to come by.
shortage.
Well,
At one point, it was
any poultry.
bird flu.
Yeah.
You know what I
Poultry.
mean?
These are huge.
Right now, you're going to
This
have.
is huge.
I don't know what you do for Thanksgiving, but right now, the turkeys are as expensive as they've ever been in the history of
Oh
this
my
country.
gosh.
There are people I know who normally do catered turkey dinners that may not do it. Remember, we talked about it a little bit last week or last time over at Timber. They may not do it this year because it's so expensive for the turkeys.
But restaurant in Millard, I'm gonna have to look it up now. Barbecue place. They're offering
Smoking Barrel.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do good work.
They're offering they will smoke your brisket or whatever all day, like $100 meal for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's
Boom.
awesome.
So you just
Yeah.
drop it off and they smoke it, or they'll do they?
No, they have everything.
Okay.
Oh,
You
wow.
you pick it up and you have your brisket, you've got your mac and cheese sides, you've got
Whoa.
your beans. Boom, Thanksgiving done.
That's probably top of my list for barbecue in Omaha.
and the nicest
Is it
guy
really?
in the world.
Yeah, I'd have to
It
say
is-
that.
It is.
It's very competitive
amazing.
here.
It is hard
Yeah, it's
here.
hard to do brisket right outside of Texas.
Agreed.
Many people don't like Texas.
Agreed.
But Texas does brisket better than anybody
Yeah.
else, in my opinion. And it's hard to find it.
You would love it.
And
Michael,
when it's
you would
done
love
right, it's done it lasts for a couple of hours. Other places, it's done, and then if you don't get it in 20 minutes, it's dry.
No, not this place.
Yeah.
And it's just old school.
Yeah,
Like,
it
they
is.
just have tables with
Started as a
paper
food truck.
tablecloths. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is the nicest man, and he takes so much pride
Wayne.
in his food.
Yeah.
Wayne's the man.
Well, I love.
Everyone, I love this.
I go to Wayne's. It's right by my house.
Right.
Wayne's Skew.
Oh, wait.
Have you ever been there on Center Street?
No.
It's like 48th and Center, and Wayne's does very southern. So they have the red sausages.
Okay.
You know those red hots?
Oh, man.
They
Now
have
that's
red
what
hots
in Omaha.
In Omaha.
How come no one
He
talks
does-
about this?
I don't know. They do a great spicy rib. It's one of the best spicy ribs I've ever had. They do fried fish. They do everything. Wayne's Skew. It's on Center by my house.
You gotta. Tell
It's
me the next
really
time you're
good.
going through.
They're only open, they only open every now and then.
Right.
We're not open every day. We only open every now and then. So you got to like drive by and go, open signs on, cool, let's go there.
No kidding?
But when it's open, it's outstanding.
So what are the hot hours usually? Like between.
So like they're not, I know they're not open on Sunday. I know
Okay.
they're not open on Monday. But you swing through it on a Wednesday at about 6, they're good to go.
I
Yeah.
want a red hot now.
Yeah, you know our guy, Omaha Fatty?
Oh yeah, the food guy.
Wow.
Omaha
the blogger
Fatty
guy.
went there,
That's
and
his
he
name?
did a
Blogger.
live stream from there. And
And?
his daughter was the first one to win a wrestling medal at state. They changed the
So
rules.
not gold, just a wrestling.
She was the first medal issued out to a
Female.
girl at the last state because they
Good.
never had it before. And his daughter was, and she's from Papillion.
He's the nicest
Figured
guy.
this out. He's a great guy.
He's
yeah.
been a Dandelion 100 times.
Yeah.
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 When those guys started out, him, David Zorko, and some of those, Dan
Yeah.
Hoppin, were all starting
Oh, yeah.
around the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time
Oh.
doing the food stuff.
A lot of food podcasts out there. Speaking of that, we are, of course, Run the Damn Kitchen. He is Nick Bartholomew. She is Brandi Peterson. I am Mike'l. Brandi Peterson with an I. I am Mike'l Severe. One of my favorite stories about Brandi is about her dad. What's your dad's name?
Steve Peterson.
Steve Peterson. Not a great name to have over a certain period of time
Dang
here
it.
at Nebraska. Now, it was spelled differently.
No.
Spelled
yes.
yes, yeah.
The AD was a D,
He was
right?
a D,
Yeah.
PED as opposed to PET. But did your dad ever get any kind of blowback
So,
because his name was Steve Peterson?
Here was the best part. So that was around the same time that Jason Peter wrote his book.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And so at the time, he was doing, I think, some interviews or shows or something. So I just texted him and I'm like, Jason, big favor, for Christmas, would you sign a copy of this book for my dad?
Nice. Oh, wow.
And he wrote, thanks for ruining the effing culture, Steve. Jason Peter. My dad thought that was the funniest darn
is
thing he had
awesome.
ever seen in his
Maybe
life.
the greatest piece of memorabilia
Right?
in the
That is
Husker
awesome.
history.
Thanks for
right there.
ruining the effing culture.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Steve Peterson, Brandi Peterson's dad.
With
Jason.
a T, different.
The only name worse to have ever is the play-by-play voice for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
No.
The play-by-play voice of the Ravens is the same name as the guy from Penn State, the coach who got fired for molesting kids.
No
they have the exact
way.
same name. It just escaped me just now. What is his name?
I think we all blocked
I
out
just
for that
it
reason.
went away. But that's his name.
Paterno's
and
guy.
he refused to change it. He's like, look, I'm on the air. I've been on the air doing this with the Ravens for 20 years. I am not going to worry about that this guy has the same name as me.
That is how unfortunate, though. Truly, though, like Sandusky. How do you
There you go.
Sandusky.
Yeah, Cam nailed it.
Not Sandusky,
Cam
Ohio, but
Cam for the
Sandusky.
win.
Jerry said both Jerry Sandusky's, and I think one of them was with a J, and then of course the one that got in trouble was the G. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
There will never be another Michael Severe to get in trouble. Trust me. There are no other Michael Severes out there. If
You
somebody's
are
in
the
trouble,
one
it's
and
me.
only.
I am the one.
Now we have to bring you up to speed. He doesn't believe in conspiracies.
Oh my God, we're back on this again.
Right,
Look what just happened to
We're gonna
Kyrie
have a
Irving,
long-
messing around with
Michael
conspiracies.
doesn't believe in conspiracies.
I
of
want to
any
have a
kind.
long talk with you about JFK because I've gone back and forth,
I've
watched so many documentaries.
okay.
One guy, book depository, expert shot from the Marines. That's it. Done. We're finished.
He
That's the
believes
There's our
Right.
conversation.
More
gospel.
wings.
I don't believe in aliens. I don't
Official
believe in
narratives
ghosts.
or gospel.
I don't believe in that
Whatever
stuff.
is being fed to him from the news.
I don't believe in
Mark it down.
because it's Occam's
Fair.
razor.
If
The
Rob
most-
McCartney tells you, then it's true. It
the-
is factual.
The most logical answer usually is the correct answer. We look for all these other things, right? We're always looking for other stuff.
This is a
Usually
news
it's just
person.
the regular answer.
This is a news person. You could ask. She's probably seen some things that she
I
questioned.
see burgers
Burger
coming.
and fries coming. Now I asked him to cut it up into fours,
I'm
which
truly
is not easy to
ordering
do.
these wings to take home to my son.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
That's fine. That's not your fault.
There's no rough.
Is that
looking. It's
some sort of
burger
Thousand
deliciousness.
Island
Now,
dressing? What is that dressing?
Yes, a bit of a play on. So, like I said, burgers in Hawaii, you'll get that kind of that sauce is sort of like a Thousand Island. It's more akin. I like to describe it as like a zestier Big Mac sauce.
Nice.
A little
We both had our evil fry
Hawaiian
laugh with that.
Hawaiian influence.
I started making the Big
Little
Mac
bit of
sauce
sweet.
for my kids.
Yeah.
Remember when everything happened on you have TikTok?
No.
Okay, so
But-
on TikTok, the keto explosion happened there.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
everybody was making all these different dishes, and they have
Keto
a
version.
sloppy Joe
You gotta get fries.
Big Mac
Oh, really?
without any
Shot.
bread,
Dip
and it
that
comes
on
with
the
the
plate.
sauce that you make.
Like,
Oh,
empty
yeah.
it out.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, like most burger places in Hawaii have a variation of some kind of Thousand Island Big Mac-y type of sauce.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I fell in love with every burger should have this sauce. And so I developed my own recipe for the sauce that I like. And
Nice.
yeah.
And it was called the Big Kahuna Burger at one point.
Yes, for my pop-up that I did it at Nick's Dandelion pop-up.
Named after Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Indeed, yes.
Yes.
And just, like Hawaiian burger joint,
Yeah.
the Big Kahuna burger, the Big Kahuna sauce.
Heck, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It made fast friends downtown, Michael, because he was doing during the summer. Nick did Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. So something Dandelion had never done before, and so all of a sudden there was Nick down there making friends with him and his sauce. And it was
That's a
easy
good
to
burger.
see, right?
So
How he
good.
made
That's a good
good
burger.
friends fast. He was playing like video games down there when
Yeah.
people would
Yeah.
order.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
yeah,
he
we
had
had
his
the
own
N64
flavor.
going. We had good music going, a little Wu-Tang.
N64.
Oh, yeah.
That's taking me back a little
yeah,
bit.
I just kind of wanted to create that vibe, like come down and get a burger, have some fun, play me in some blitz, get the smoke.
Nice. That's a
some
tasty
Smash
burger.
Brothers.
Like board games, like
Some-
Boggle.
Now, wait a minute. That is mine. And no, he means like
And
Excite
no.
Bike.
Oh, yeah,
What were you playing?
I got to pick up Excite Bike. I got to go check Ben's Game Zone or one of these
See?
video game
Gamers.
stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open a new location, by
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
Up
So
towards
we
Benson.
actually just got rid of it. My husband bought a couple of years ago, like a guy just built it in his basement, an arcade game for our
Yeah.
basement, but
Oh,
it had
nice.
1,100 old school Nintendo,
Yep.
Super Nintendo.
Why'd you get rid of it?
Well, we thought my boys would be all into it, and
Yeah.
there like, "What's wrong with
The
how
graphics
this
are not
looks?"
good enough.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, "What's
Yeah.
happening?"
Whoa.
But my
Kids just
husband and
don't
his
know.
friends were like, "This is it's Mike Tyson's Punch Out!"
Yeah,
We
be
have
right
a
over there,
multi-K in
too.
our basement.
I actually am
Contra.
going right after this. I actually am
I'm
meeting up with a guy
Shredders.
to buy
That's
a little old school Sega Genesis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just on Facebook Marketplace. I'm a big video game nerd, and just I one day I'd like to have my own joint that's got delicious food, good drinks, and a couple arcade games here.
I will
and there,
invest in
You
this
will.
restaurant. And we're just, the name of it's going to be Best Place Ever.
Hey, that's what I hope
But
for.
now he didn't tell you about how his friend dressed up like Guy Fieri.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a full-on Guy Fieri costume one time at Dandelion.
Shout out to William.
Shout out to William.
Yep, he was my guy. He helped me. He was
AKA.
from a friend from culinary school. You know, doing this pop-up on myself, I needed some guys to help me slang burgers. So, William came out and helped me out a few nights, and we just had good vibes, and it was a lot of fun.
Excuse me, in case you worry or wonder what kind of guy Fieri is, let me tell you, he's awesome.
Really?
He is absolutely awesome.
Good.
He came for the College World Series.
Oh, you met him?
Yep, he did. Diners, dives, and drive-ins.
yeah.
He went to 4 different places. I think they're all closed now, by the way.
California Taco he went to. They're
Still open. So he went to Brew Burgers.
Yeah.
He went to
come in.
Joe Tess.
Now, shout out, I was on that episode.
Oh, were you?
On the Joe Test one?
The Joe Test episode, my brother, my dad, and I.
Oh, really?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
Just eating?
Hookah shell necklace from the
Oh,
90s.
my
You don't believe it.
Oh, wow.
So Joe
I'm
Tess.
not playing.
Nice.
Okay.
He went to Amato's.
Yes.
Closed.
Oh, yep. I love the
The
models.
Guy
And-
curse is real?
And there's one more place, huh?
The Guy Fieri curse of Omaha is real?
It may be, but let me tell you something. He came out to the College World Series and came up, hung out with us, talked, everything. He raised I think it was $40 million for restaurants during the pandemic.
That is awesome.
Just and a lot of it was his money, his investing, getting guys in, food trucks, delivering food to different places. It's incredible what he's done.
They do the
Incredible.
ghost kitchen right now. You can have it Uber Eats to your house.
Oh, really?
And I think now don't quote me on this, but I think they do it out of a place inside of Village Point. I want to say it's that Italian place. I forget the name over there, but I believe they're doing some cooking out of there. So when you order Uber Eats, you can get Guy Fieri's food delivered to your house.
Oh, yeah.
Mixed reviews, and always go local, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
all about local. I love local. Everybody loves local. Right. So you have a little bit of Hawaiian influence.
Yep.
Obviously, you grew up here in Nebraska?
Yep. Born in Virginia, but lived here in Bellevue since I was 5. We moved here. My mom was stationed at Offutt Air Force Base, and grew up here. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so you got that influence as well. What else? What else has influenced you over the years as a cook?
Honestly, just the places I've been, the people that have inspired me and that I've learned from. Big thing, Block 16, Paul and Jess. I've mentioned them plenty of times
people,
in my
man.
past
Good
before,
people.
but just like, and not just them, but I mean the people that I worked with there, and at all the other places I've been to. And I'm young. I don't claim to have been everywhere or done everything, but I try to soak in everything that I'm around when I'm in places where I can learn and just really just taking what I think works and what I think doesn't, and put my own spin on things. And I feel like that's how anybody that comes up learns it, just kind of get influenced, really.
You know what I love about both of these chefs is you let the meat speak for itself. Like, that's kind of my pet peeve sometimes, is when the sauce is great,
Completely
but
agree.
it's too much. Both of these, the beef and the chicken, you still have it. It's like the perfect balance.
Well,
So
appreciate
done.
that. Thank you, Brandi. And I shout out that kind of stuff comes from my other influence of what made me the cook and the chef I am today. This hat belongs to my grandmother. My mom and my grandmother were just such amazing cooks. My whole family is foodies, honestly. Yeah. But my grandmother, Sabu, she owned a restaurant in Oregon. I just learned so much from her growing up, and my mom too in the kitchen. And they made everything from scratch. And my mom is a big believer of simple is better.
Yeah.
And she made everything from scratch. My mom never cooked out of a box or really anything. And she made the flavors come through from what she had, on those things, those elements alone. So, I take a lot of influence, and, I get a lot of inspiration from them, learning from them growing
The
up.
short ribs, you
Shout
can
out to
tell.
Sabu and
That's my
Heaven.
favorite meal of Chef Nick's, is he does a short rib, and it's unbelievable.
Kind of a Korean short rib?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I
a
mean,
big Hawaiian thing, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
and he does, what you did, like, it's a potato salad, right?
A mac salad,
Mac
which
salad,
you'll
that's
find
right.
everywhere. That's like a Hawaiian staple side dish,
And
so,
New Orleans staple.
So that was
Yeah.
kind of my thing, good burgers and Hawaiian plate lunches that I love to eat when I lived there. And the Korean short rib, the kalbi rib they call it in Hawaii, is just
Yeah, that was a fun one. I mean, all
my
summer
favorite.
long to go down there.
That's awesome.
You could have a burger, a great burger, right, if you're just walking by, but you can also commit fully to what you were calling them, plates?
plate lunches.
Plate lunches. And
Yep.
so,
In Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what you.
So that's a cool vibe, and Omaha needs that. Really, that's the heart and soul of what kind of makes us better.
Yeah,
So,
no.
kudos.
So go grab the coup de grace.
Yes.
The Biggie's
Yeah.
coming out next.
Oh, what's that?
It's the coup de grace. I can't. I don't want to.
This is
Spoil it.
Thank you,
so
Chef.
good.
I don't want to spoil it. So get your background. So I know a lot of people know that you worked at Channel 7.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I don't want to do the wrong. Were you Miss Douglas County or Miss Sar?
Yeah.
Right.
Long time ago.
I remember.
Nice.
I thought I remembered that.
So I'm a proud Papillion kid.
Yeah.
I've lived in Papillion or La Vista since I think we moved to Omaha when I was 6 months old, and then La Vista, Papillion from there on. And Omaha, Gretna, it's like I don't go very far from what I know.
Good, though.
Your
We need
radius.
you here.
My
Stay radius, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the best place in the world to
Thank
be.
you.
I mean,
I agree.
The people and I think we've touched on this a couple times. Behind every small business is an incredible story and amazing people here. You know,
That give a darn.
Absolutely, that actually care and appreciate your feedback, and they want to be better. And I don't feel like you feel that a whole lot of other
How about the
places.
Urbans, right? I mean, these are two people who worked in Jamaica or Bahamas. I can't remember which one. And they were working at separate hotels. But there was one bus that took everybody back to the Chef Hotel. They're sitting on a bus talking to each other over 4 or 5 days, end up falling in love, opening a restaurant. Where? Omaha, Nebraska.
Woo!
The former Chicken Gyro joint.
Oh, yeah,
Remember that
that's
place?
New York Chicken Gyro.
We do not take card. We do no card. And I was like, okay, I got
Brilliant.
no cash.
By the way, that's brilliant. I just
It was
Where was this at?
it was six. It was
Block 16.
It wasn't. No, I thought it was. Yeah, maybe it is.
Like
Yeah,
one door
yeah,
down
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah, I thought it was a block over. But yeah, that's right where it was. That area, and they did not take cash. I mean, excuse me, did not take credit card.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And there was no ATM there. So if you didn't come prepared, you weren't eating.
Back of the line to you.
You weren't eating.
I think it was the one
They
at
took it over.
40th and Dodge, the gyro place, that he never charged officers. Ever.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh.
King Kong.
Yeah.
King Kong. Oh,
He
yeah.
never charged police officers because he
I think he
respected
still
them
does
so
that,
much.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ethan Dodge was the old
It's-
Saigon.
Uh-huh.
Oh, at the hotel. Oh, you want to be terrified to go eat. That motel where they ended up killing a cab driver in the parking lot. But they had amazing pho. And so you had to like weigh it. Do I get in trouble and get shot? Do I get pho? And I mean, it was you had to weigh the way you felt about food.
So
Is there a
many-
police presence for lunch?
Yes.
Is there pho for
Yeah,
lunch?
there's
Yeah.
so many. Like my husband, for a long time, lived downtown, and so many of his favorite restaurants, same thing. He'd be
Yeah.
like, "How bad? What
It's a
time is
little
it?
sketchy.
What was the
That's how
place
it should
on
start.
the Asian restaurant on Saddle Creek?
Yeah, Happy Family. Or Three
Rice
Happiness.
Bowl?
Rice Bowl.
Rice Bowl was the kicker, boy.
Because he worked at KPTM,
Yeah.
so he'd be like, "Rice Bowl night." Rice Bowl night?
$8.99 entree, side, drink. $8.99
All night?
Entree, egg roll, or
Oh, there
crab
it is.
rangoon
Okay.
and a drink.
So good.
$8.99.
Sold.
He
It was
still
the
talks
best.
about it. He's
And
like,
tacos.
we're
Rice
going
Bowl
on
was the
Saddle
best.
Creek. Can we stop at Rice Bowl? Let's look it up, see if they're open.
It's so good. And then how did you decide you wanted to be in TV?
So I was always that kid that was the center of attention, jumping in front of the
No
huge
way.
camcorders. I know, comes as a shock.
No way.
So I knew I wanted to do something kind of front and center because I was that kid.
Good.
But I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was actually a musical theater major in college for one semester
Whoa.
and realized it was not my jam. It was not my jam.
What do you mean?
I know. I don't know.
I mean, tell me, really.
But I took a history of broadcasting class just because I love history. I was fascinated by it,
Yeah.
and I was hooked.
Cool.
Just that you get to tell stories and get paid for it,
Yeah.
and for
Not a
me,
lot, though.
'cause
That's
that,
pretty-
you through that.
He said
Thank
it
you,
right.
Mom and Dad, for helping me get through those first couple of years. But like I was just saying, there's so many good people and good things happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can focus on the bad, and sometimes as a journalist, it's your responsibility to
Yeah.
just give details and
Yeah.
facts, especially right now in our world with so much blah, 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 blah floating around, what's actually happening, and
Yeah.
then let people make their own decisions. But to be able to tell, I had a wonderful story on a gal who was paralyzed in a car accident, walked down the aisle, like went through rehab
Yeah.
for months and months and months, a year even, to just be able to do that. So her story went on to reach, I want to say like 7 million people on our YouTube channel. Yeah. And yeah, that's great.
Holy cow.
But she inspired so many others that they could overcome whatever they wanted.
That's
and I'm
incredible.
going to stop talking now because I see a giant plate of carbs in front of me, and
at
I am
that.
the happiest girl ever.
You say that, though.
Chris,
Yeah,
that's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I know
right
you've
there.
gone and spoken to kids before about the job, and they always ask you what's your favorite story or most
Yeah.
memorable, and you can pull that one out there, but you have dozens of others.
So many
and that
others.
you've helped people or they are helped because of your story. It's one of the great things about being in news. There's a lot of bad things, and nowadays there's a lot of strange things, but I'm telling you, the things that you do, the way you affect people on a daily basis, it's what the great thing about being a journalist was.
Yeah,
is.
for sure. And like telling stories about it wasn't my story, but a couple weeks ago, La Vista police officers went to console a woman who her husband had passed away in his sleep. And she was just beside herself, not only because she lost her husband, but because she had promised her church that she would make all these cupcakes for an event. The police officer stayed and frosted the cupcakes. So she did not have to worry
Incredible
about
story.
it.
That's
so
incredible.
here are these officers who are responding to these horrible calls all day, nuisance things, whatever, and they took an hour out of their day to take this off of this woman's shoulders. To have the job where you get to share things like that, and we got paid for that, man.
It can be the greatest job in the world.
Yeah.
Not smooth transition. We segue to the coup de grace I was talking about.
Greatest job in the world, greatest food in the world. Here we go.
What is this thing called here? What is this called here?
So this is Hail Varsity's signature Nebraska charcuterie plate. We got big appetites here in Nebraska, so sometimes the classic charcuterie plate.
Green bean?
Fried green beans.
Oh, and then you got mozzarella?
We got garlic cheese curds in the back there. And then next to it, sort of similar Gouda bites. A little fancier cheese.
I'm gonna go Gouda bite first.
Yeah. So then they're all obviously, you can see, served in a giant, delicious warm pretzel. We got our beer cheese, house beer cheese, smoked tomato ranch, boom boom sauce.
Smoked tomato ranch?
And then regular ranch.
That's a nice touch right there.
How many people?
One. My name is Brandi.
Yeah, I mean, it depends who you're talking to. But I mean, I would say at least 3 to 4. I mean,
I would hope
more,
so.
You know, I mean,
the pretzel alone.
Yeah, I mean,
should feed that many people.
Yeah, you can fill up on the pretzel.
How do you find a pretzel that big, Chef?
You know, I couldn't tell you. You know, they. So like I said, I'm new here, and they had this pretzel source. I'm not even sure exactly where we get it from, but it's
That's
smacking
awesome.
pretzel.
Heck yeah, that's impressive.
I don't want to ruin any trade secrets if I'm going to get it right, but I think they have something like this at the zoo.
They do have one
in the
zoo.
Africa section that it's my kids' eyes get about this
Africa
big.
Yeah, we go to the African section.
Yeah, like
They call it the elephant ear, and you get all this stuff.
Is that what
inside.
it is?
No, I have no
Did
idea.
you
it's called
create
the
it? I give you
elephant
credit
pretzel.
for it.
I think it's actually called the elephant pretzel.
That makes
and then
sense.
they have different sauces in the.
But the sauces are what make my kids' heads explode.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
my son's like, all of these are ranch?
Yeah, and I'm a sauce guy. You got to have all the variety of the different sauces,
Heck yeah.
you know. Yeah, so, and this is something,
cool.
you know, we're like I said, being new here to Hail Varsity Club, you know, I'm trying to bring in some different things that we can fill this pretzel up with. Some
I
different.
got one. Habanero cheese curds.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Habanero
right
cheese
in.
curds.
Yes, sir. I'm a spicy guy.
I
So.
love habanero cheese curds.
Yes, sir.
And the
Good call.
guy that used to bring them to the College World Series passed away. Came out of Wisconsin. He used to come and bring them, and he passed away. So we don't have them anymore at the College World Series every year.
Okay, well, then
you
I
know
got
where we
you.
could have them?
Right here.
Hail Varsity Club.
I got you.
So, Chef, these right here, these are the Gouda ones.
Gouda bites.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Solid.
word.
Liking those. Huh?
It is like heaven in a little
Yeah,
thing.
and there's different
with
options,
ranch.
you know, of what
Cam,
you can
I'm
get.
good at the words.
Right. Indeed. Yeah, and there's different options you can get. You know, in the pretzel, we have plenty of different fried and non-fried appetizers that you can pick to fill up that Nebraska charcuterie.
The menu is pretty big,
And,
Chef.
huh?
That menu is pretty big.
Yeah, and you know,
awesome.
My goal is to, you know, like
Cut it
let's
in.
have some different things coming down. You know, some more things we make like in-house from scratch. You know, we got some ideas flowing with the guys back there that we'll put some different stuff in here in the coming months. So
That kitchen's
Love
beautiful.
that.
I definitely want to get people out to try all the different stuff that we're going to fill this pretzel up with, and different
yeah.
sauces too. I got a new recipe for cheese we're working on and developing.
Aren't they
So
amazing?
there's a lot of stuff in development.
Do you guys ever just sit down on like after hours with notepads, just like going back and forth about what if we tried this?
Absolutely.
What
I
if
was
we-
doing it right
God,
before this
that's
podcast, to be
amazing.
honest. I was on my computer looking at a New Orleans style barbecue shrimp recipe that
Hello.
That,
Here we go. I have one if you want it.
I plan. Hey,
I
bring
have
it.
my uncle MC's. He has his.
I plan
Crab
on putting
Imperial.
that on the menu. So.
Crab Imperial.
Now, my dad invented Crab Imperial.
Oh, okay.
Invented?
Yeah.
Invented. So like when you used to get when you would go buy the lump crab thing,
Yep.
the little silver top on the side, it would say Severe's Crab
No
Imperial.
way.
Yep. That doesn't do it anymore, but he
That's
invented it in
amazing.
the 60s. But
Well, yeah,
I
I
knew
mean,
you were a big deal, but
That's the one. I mean, think about that. On the side of a can?
absolutely.
That's immortalized.
That's
no
amazing.
joke.
I've seen those cans. I've opened those cans. I've cut my
Right.
finger on some of that.
there's nothing
tin
better
foil.
than a hot salted pretzel.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
one of the great things. America makes wonderful things, But the hot salted pretzel, that is so American.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere you go, you want a good pretzel.
You either get cheese with it or mustard. That's what I liked.
yeah,
When I was a kid was mustard.
Heck
with
yeah.
it.
So that the cheese sauce that it's in development that I have a recipe for that we're working on rolling out for this is it's got some mustard in it.
Nice.
It's got
Cool.
it really will work well with this pretzel and with any fried app we put in this guy. And that's in the works here. Within the I have a lot of new things that we're trying to do with the menu, being new and everything, and trying to make Hail Varsity Club stand out the way it should in this crowded Omaha food community. So I got an awesome crew back there. The guys are amazing. I've only been here 2.5 weeks, but I know that we're gonna do some awesome things. So I'm really excited
sense your
for that.
passion for it.
I love food.
It's really cool.
Maybe I don't look at it. I got a fast metabolism, but
How do
one
we
day,
get that? Is that on the menu?
Metabolism.
Like I did and had your metabolism. I would love that. That would be awesome.
might catch up with me one day. We'll see.
It will. Trust me.
Caught up with my dad, so
Yeah, it'll trust me. Chef Nick, we appreciate it.
I appreciate
the
you
burger
guys.
was amazing.
So great,
Absolutely.
Of
Thank
course,
you guys.
This Nebraska charcuterie is incredible as well, and the wings are delicious.
Thanks, Mike.
Come on by and,
Yeah, you found
and
a
check
great
out
home.
everything as you develop. This menu. More and more stuff's going to be on there, and sure. And
Absolutely.
It's gonna be not just a sports bar, but a place to come and really get some great food.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
and-
vibes here are fantastic. So
Pass on, pop-up love to other chefs coming up.
You know
what
I will.
mean? That's one of those things you got to keep going. And
for sure, and I shout out to Nick. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at without Nick Bartholomew's helping me just do my own thing and getting
No
my
way.
name out there and having great opportunities like this. So
no way, he
I'll
was
pass
getting
it
there
on.
regardless. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just one of those things
the
that we were there, but
creativity.
definitely help the other ones because that's where it's at.
Absolutely, man.
I love
Appreciate
how
you.
I was a sous chef for this chef.
Yeah.
Or I worked
Yeah.
on the line for this chef. Or I was just the veggie guy for this. And that's why I was somewhat incestuous. Everybody's related here.
Yeah.
All work together. There's no way you're going to name one guy and not be able to name the next 5 people that helped that
Totally.
person get there.
Yep.
That's what's great about Omaha,
Absolutely,
especially the food market.
indeed.
And
we
I would throw in, sorry, Michael,
go ahead.
just feel free to punch me in the face
No,
anytime.
I'm not going to do that.
So, in our neighborhood-
Not 2022.
Right.
In our neighborhood, we started we bring in a different locally owned food truck every week,
Yeah.
just to try different things.
That's a great
It
idea.
is the best thing ever
Why wouldn't
because
you,
you get to try different foods, try different restaurants. You're supporting somebody local that's creating, and now I want to find out where all of these. It gives me the extra exercise to burn it off. Go
Indeed.
somewhere else to try these.
Indeed.
It's awesome.
Yeah, good work, man. Appreciate
Well, I'll
it.
certainly pass along. Thank you guys.
Chef Nick.
Appreciate you
Good to
so
see you,
much.
Chef.
What you got
Thanks,
going
Nick.
on? What you got going on, Brandi?
Right
Brandi?
now, I'm
Yeah, what do
eating
you
the
think?
most amazing food ever.
Yeah.
But-
So you're working at Westside, right? And you're in. What is your title?
It's a long one. Director of Communications and Engagement.
I like
All
it.
right.
So
I like
not just, I really think of our job as telling our taxpayers where their money is going.
That's my job. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, we literally, you are investing in your future by investing in your schools. But it's easy to say that. I want to see. I'm a taxpayer too. I want to see exactly where my money is going. So we're not just telling them, trust us.
Yeah.
Here's a flyer for the big game this week, or I want to see the achievement, what goes into that. Meet the teachers that are in your classrooms, and here is what,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much rhetoric now about, I don't want this in my school, I don't want this. Well, we're telling people exactly what that curriculum is to allow them to make their decision.
Yeah.
Telling them when a board meeting is so they can come and
Engage.
so it's not that dissimilar from what I was doing before.
Yeah.
We get to continue telling great stories, but also telling important information.
More focused is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What you got coming up, Nick?
It's giving season at the Sienna Francis house.
Big time.
Love
So
it.
I got to get you guys engaged any way I can. You guys will be getting calls from me very soon.
Okay.
When I figure out how I can best utilize your services.
Yeah.
But Veterans Day is next week.
Yeah.
So it's a huge
And
day
thank
on
you,
the
Michael,
campus.
for your service.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And your dad, right? Your dad was in.
And mom.
And mom, I knew
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
And my brother. Yeah.
for sure. So that Veterans Day is coming up. They're doing a really nice. Greater Omaha Packing is an amazing local company, and they donated 460 10-ounce New York strips.
Oh my
For
goodness.
everybody that's coming through the Sienna Francis house is homeless
Awesome.
or misplaced this next week. So that is a huge donation that's going to make a lot of people's days.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, Dining for Dignity.
Yeah.
We'll get Chef Nick down there. You know what I mean? So, but that kind of stuff. So expect some phone calls. We'll find something fun.
That's
love
awesome.
it.
For you
That's
guys to
awesome.
engage.
What a great
For Nick
cause.
Bartholomew, Brandi Peterson, it was good seeing you. It's been
Yeah,
forever.
thanks for coming.
For
So
the phone call.
everything, yeah, we love
For
it.
Michael, anything.
Yeah, right.
Oh, right.
And Chef Nick as well. This has been Run the Damn Kitchen. We appreciate Hurrdat Media Podcast. Join us next time for another great edition of us eating and talking at the same time.